I'm Kyle Bolduc from Lydia Can't Breathe, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Well, cool, man. Is everything open up and rolling down there now? Full speed ahead?
Oh, it has been. Yeah, they never gave a shit down here, dude. Like, it was just like, if you want to get it, you can get it. You know what I mean?
I'm just glad
they had
that...
like,
Go ahead.
I live in the suburbs, so they never like shut it down. Like, if you drove to like the big cities, you know that you had to wear the mask and stuff.
Yeah.
But like where I'm at, everyone's just like fucking country bumpkin. Like, they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? They're just like basically like, yeah, I'm not wearing a mask. I don't care. Like, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm in Richmond, and it was shut down for the longest time, and now life is finally, I feel like we got a whole new lease on life. Everything's opening up. Shows are being booked. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you can appreciate it. And you notice like all the big tours are getting booked right now. You just like, I want to say last, 3 weeks, you've seen like Slipknot, like everybody's just like a Trey. All the big names are like, okay, we're back. You know what I mean? They're finally, feeling like it's back for sure.
I'm coming to one by you in September, I think. Orlando with Judas Priest and Soulfly.
I know. Yes, that's awesome.
Hell
that's such a crazy mix, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Lydia Can't Breathe. So let's chat about you guys for a little bit. So for those not familiar, can you give us the, I try and do this, the 2-sentence boardroom pitch?
Basically, we're a heavy metal, hard rock band, but we play like multi-genres. We smoke a lot of weed, and we're a little political, but we're pretty much just like mind your own business, stay out of my, block type shit. We're not like trying to preach nothing or tell anybody anything. You know what I mean?
Right. So you've got your stance, but you're not slapping people around saying you must believe my way.
Yeah, I don't hate you. You can say whatever you want. You can support whoever you want. I got my beliefs. You got your beliefs. I'm not trying to create any more hate in this hateful world. You know what I mean?
So we could still be friends and throw back a beer and hang out, and we can disagree still, right?
Yep, exactly.
Now that's the way it should be. And that's the way the world is not. And I did an interview with somebody you might even know, I think maybe even from your neck of the woods within the last 6 months. And it was not that way. He's very outspoken, and he took us to task, and it was quite interesting. Very opinionated people sometimes. And I think everybody has an opinion, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I think you should.
100%. And it's more, I'm just spitting knowledge. And if you believe in the knowledge I'm spitting and you want to, use that in your life, then that's cool. But if you don't want to, I'm not trying to, hate on you for it. I don't care, you know what I mean, about anything. I don't care what color you are, right, what you believe in, who you want to sleep with. Like, none of that matters to me. Right. I feel like everyone's just like picking a side, and that's kind of why we're all like segregated. And in reality, we're all in this together.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, it's stupid to me. But I mean, again, if that guy wants to be, even the guy that wants to hate everybody, whatever, bro, I get it. You got a chip on your shoulder. Maybe you got some other issues that, you know what I mean, they can't figure out. And that's why they want to, preach that hate. And I mean, I'm an angry guy. Like I scream metal and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I try to like, get it out in different ways and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're totally in the wrong, like, I would definitely, bow up. I'm a dude that would be like, whatever, dude, I'll slap somebody or something. But I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to create the controversy. You know what I mean?
So I know we're off on a tangent already, and that's where the show goes. I hope you don't mind. But I'll get back to Lydia Can't Breathe for a second. But in the end, everyone has their own sort of perception and the way they grew up and their own preconceived stuff that they bring to the table, right? So we're all never going to, I don't think, come to a fine line agreement. Does that make sense?
See eye to eye. Yeah, it's never gonna. I wasn't brung up the same way you are, so even if we both have a lot of the same beliefs, there's gonna be something down the pipeline, a conversation one day that we're not gonna totally agree on. And I like to almost listen. Yeah, I like to listen and see, okay, this is what he thinks. And then maybe that changes my perspective on it. Maybe it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to, bring that up the next time we hang out, or, you know what I mean? Trying to be like, if you don't vote for this guy, or you don't believe in that, or if you don't wear a mask, like, I hate you and I hate your family and I never met you. And you're just like, you know what I mean? There's so many people out there that are, I feel like, super ignorant to, even act like that toward anybody. Yeah.
All right. So getting back to Lydia Can't Breathe, you said you're a very angry guy and you do metal. Do you find this like super cathartic to just get that shit out?
I have to, bro. I think I'll never quit playing music, or I would probably just like freak out. Like I have like, I'm like a little kid, you know what I mean? Trapped in a grown man's body, like ready to just like break toy trucks and stuff. So it's like, if I could scream, you know what I mean? Like I get mad when we don't practice, because right now we haven't been touring, but I feel like the actual energy that comes out of it, and when I'm spitting words that I feel like I truly believe in, it just like gives me a release. It is like my purpose on this earth, like, you know what I mean, to try to get that release and try to help people that maybe aren't, are more ignorant, or, you know what I mean, maybe give them a couple words of advice to where they can pick, what they want to do with their lives and try to create some type of happiness in a world where it's hard to find happiness, no matter, you know what I mean, what you're doing or how rich you are, or, you know what I mean?
Right. And I don't think any of that matters as far as happiness, because the rich guys are just as fucked up as the rest of us. So, but I also, you made a good point. You made a good point. You're getting, your message across or whatever. But on a side note, you're also just facilitating the fans to get their angst and aggression out too, right? Because they're in the pit, they're screaming along, and
that's how it all started for me, to be honest. That's when I fell in love with it, because I would go to the concerts and I like, I'm like a sports dude, like, you know what I mean? I'd always play like football, baseball, and all this stuff. And my buddy like got me to go to like, I think it was like a Green Day concert. It was like Warped Tour down here or something like that. And we were just like, we were getting wasted all day and all that. But then like we started doing the mosh pits, and like these people were moshing. And at first I was like, yo, like I'm not going in that thing. Like that's crazy, bro. Like, those people were like kind of fighting. And my buddy's like, nah, man, it's like a community. Like you're good. Like, and I ran in, and then ended up moshing the whole day. And the next day I was so exhausted. Like I felt like I had, just got all my energy out.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the power and the control and the message, and how much like I was inspired by seeing, bands like Green Day and whoever else was playing that day. I can't remember. I was like 13.
Right.
But it was like Offspring, you know what I mean? It was like such old bands, but I'm just like, this is crazy to me. I think Mudvayne played or something. It was like when Mudvayne came out with Dig, you know what I mean? And I was just like, they played it twice. Like they came out and played it, and then everyone was like, they wanted to leave, and everyone was like, no, play it again. Like I've never seen anybody, I swear, I've never seen any band do that ever in all the shows I've ever played.
Did the place light up when they
crazy.
did it?
Yeah, it just went crazy both times. Like I was like, are you kidding me? Like we just heard them play this like 10 minutes ago. We're gonna fucking do it again. Like, you know what I mean? Awesome. I was just like, yeah. So I mean, I was hooked, man, and I felt the power that they had over the people. Like, and that was very inspiring. I felt like, I'm kind of a delinquent. There's no way, like, I was ever going to be like a politician or anything like that. But I felt like these people, like the System of a Downs, the Slipknots, like the really big bands, like their message is actually changing people's lives. Yes. Like, you know what I mean? It's actually like developing them in a way. I don't know how to, say that, I guess, but it's like almost like the message, however you take it, even if it's not what, Serge or Corey or whoever was singing it said it. However, like you said, it's like you take in the message from a song a different way than I take it in, but it still inspires you. You know what I mean? It still, maybe gets you through the day or something like that. And I was like, man, if I could do that for people, like the way that it made me feel like when I was down and, you know what I mean, to help me get through the day, I was like, that's what I want to do. I was like, there's no other job there's nothing else on this earth I feel like I could do to make more of an impact. I just felt like, hey, I worked, like shitty jobs. I remember working at Subway one time, and I only worked there for 2 weeks. And I was just like, every day I'm just like making a sandwich, you know what I mean? And it's a job. Yeah. Like, I'm not dissing on anybody, you know what I mean? Right. If they work at Subway, it's just like, I was just like, dude, like, what am I accomplishing? Like, do I really I know I have to put 8 cucumbers on a, right, a 12-inch sandwich. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing to change this world? Like, I feel like I have more to offer than that, and I worked a couple other, shit jobs. And then I was just finally like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm going to go do the music thing. Like, cause every time I was at the job, I would just think about, why am I not at home practicing my guitar? Right. Like, how am I going to further my career? Like, I'm sitting at Subway for 8 hours a day. Like, when I get off work, I don't even want to really do anything because I'm so burnt out from the day. You know what I mean? So I started, looking for other avenues. I started working in the industry and doing like live audio and stuff like that to, kind of meet some people, as well as get my feet wet and understand the whole circle, you know what I mean, of everything that was going on. And I've never, honestly, since I was like 20, I've never worked a job like that again. I've just done live audio and then toured in Lydia and then helped a guy at a studio. You know what I mean? And I've never done anything else. Like, even to this day, like, I basically just, pushing for the message, the dream every day. And I practice all the time. I try to teach those around me, offer what I can offer. And I feel like even if I don't make, a big bag at the end of the day, it's not like, a bunch of money or something like that. I still feel mentally and almost physically fulfilled. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're not tired, I feel like you haven't done enough for that day. Right. You know what I mean?
And I think you're 100% right about, the cash thing. It'd be nice to have cash and not be doing this out of, my garage or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still doing what I want, and I'm doing it on, my shoestring budget, and I enjoy the hell out of it. And maybe I'm making a difference as well, or at least I'm getting, artists out to the other people. That makes sense?
Nah, dude, you're helping out for sure, dude. Like, I would say anybody in your realm, like, you're basically you're like a gatekeeper to like a doorway of your community. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it on all these interviews. Like, you know what I mean? You have the people that believe in the messages that you're preaching and that you're saying. And it sounds like, you know what I mean? You're not hammering them down if they don't believe in it. You're just conversating, but it's still very, very helpful. And without people like you, people like me couldn't get our message out there. Like, it's very important to have the media. And it's also very important to have the media not jumbling up the message. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could basically do an interview and then cut out.
Chop it all up.
Half the interview. Yeah. And then make me look like the biggest asshole ever. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I know that like big corporations and stuff, like, they're doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you hear about it, but if you're not looking to hear about it, then you're not going to find it. You know what I mean? And then people are just so blind. They're scared for the people like us, basically, to get any more power. Every fan that you pick up, every person that you're impacting, if that number becomes so big, then they're scared. You know what I mean? They don't want that to happen. The people that are in control, that have the bags, and the reason they have all that money is because they're manipulating people, and they sleep just fine at night, pushing their message on people.
I would not be able to.
Yeah, I couldn't. That's what I'm saying. If I had $1 million right now, but I had to like go spit on like little kids for the day or something, I'd be like, dude, like, you know what I mean? I feel terrible right now. Like, what's going on? Like, that was how I got paid. Yeah.
So let's talk about Sheep. Now that it's out, what's been the response to it so far?
Pretty good, man. I mean, we're an underdog anyway, but we got like 250,000 plays on it, I think. And that's the most we've ever gotten on a video. So I feel really good about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if more people are watching YouTube from the last time we dropped it, or if it's, you know what I mean, what it is. But I do feel really good about the song, the message. I dig the video, the guy that made the video. Like we worked really hard on it. It's kind of artsy, you know what I mean, with the lights and stuff. You've watched it, you know, with like the red and stuff. But the message in it is kind of almost like what we're talking about, and how big corporations are controlling us through media outlets and stuff, you know what I mean? And basically, you know, Fox or whoever, and I'm not calling Fox out, I'm just saying it could be NBC or whatever, they're throwing a bunch of stuff on TV. And the people that work 8 days or, you know, 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, they don't have time to have an opinion. So they're just basically like, cool, this is what's going on. This is what I believe. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're trying to control us. Maybe in the bigger picture, it's protecting us as a, you know, a community, a generation. It's keeping, they don't want us to know certain things because then we would exploit it, because there is people that would exploit it. But I don't know. Like, I truly believe there's a lot of hate, and they're trying to keep us segregated, because if we all join forces, then we would be in control. Like the people would be in control, and they don't want that, because then their bag that they don't need, their 60 yachts that they don't even have time to you know, ride all of them. Yeah, you don't even use it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you need that much money when there's people over here that can't even eat? You know what I mean? And if you're broke and you don't work hard and you don't try, like, you suck just as much as the guy with all the money. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's got to you got to put in what you get out, and everybody should be doing something to better the world, whether it is the guy making the sandwich, whether it is, the
guy has to make the sandwich, right? We need the guy to make the sandwich.
We need that guy. And I don't want to be that guy, but the guy that's content with that, like, thank you for the sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So it's like, we need everybody on that aspect, but we also need the guy that goes in and buys the sandwich to have respect for the guy making the sandwich. So you don't just walk in and like, oh, you're on your Ferrari and you don't even eat Subway, but you have to today. So you're pissed off, and you're going to, this dude that's barely paying his bills, you're going to treat him like he's stupid just because he didn't get lucky or invest into Bitcoin or whatever, you know, you did to come up so hard. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I see so much of that that's what angers me. And like, I want to fight for the underdog because I'm willing to fight for the underdog. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what Sheep is about. You know what I mean? It's basically like, yo, don't be yourself. If you can't control yourself, the message is even in the chorus. It's like, if you're not going to change yourself, then you're not going to help change this world. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just preach and not act. And you can't just like act on stuff that you don't really know what you're doing. You can't just go start a fight that's not worth fighting for. You know what I'm saying? You're spending all that energy on the hate when we could be spending, you know what I mean, more time. Yeah. And it's all a fight, but I mean, let's just be smarter about it as a culture, you know what I mean? Yeah, as everybody. Yeah.
So we're running out of time. This is a great interview, by the way. I like that we're just all over.
Sorry, bro. Yeah,
I hope you don't mind. We're just kind of going. I had a bunch of stuff, but we're just kind of rolling, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. No worries.
What was it like releasing or writing and releasing a record in the middle of all this shit? Because it had to be much different, right? Even as far as marketing it.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, and what's crazy too is like we wrote this song 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it was before COVID, man. And I had already like kind of been like, yo, bro, like they're trying to control us through the media. Like, that's what I'm going to write this song about. And like, I talk to my band about it, but I don't really let them dictate like what I'm going to write about. I just kind of, you know, I feel like because we're all running a business together, like I gotta, you know, be like, hey, this is what I wrote the song about. Like, what do you guys think? And if, you know what I mean, they'll throw some insight, you know what I mean, in on it. But yeah, I basically was just like, I couldn't believe we wrote the song. And then all the COVID stuff started happening and we were scared to release it because we were like, yo, we can't tour on it. Like we had the video for a year You know what I mean? And I'm like, is it right? Do we drop the video and then we can't tour on it? Like, we never experienced that. And then we're like, well, forget it. We're just going to keep building material. So we just ended up recording like 15 other songs that are like, we haven't even dropped yet. And we just tried to stay busy in case it never opened back up. I was like, maybe we're just going to have to drop music videos and they're going to stop human contact. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Right.
So it was seriously different, seriously weird. I didn't know what to expect because I'm like old school. I'm like, go get in the van and tour the country. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like the social media dude, but now I've learned a lot about it.
Gotta have necessity.
Yeah, it definitely is a necessity.
So one more, and then I probably have to cut it off, but you mentioned it when you're writing lyrics and they're not, is there ever been a case where they're totally not on board and you kind of have to settle, or how does that work out? Who gets the final say?
I'm kind of a dictator, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they'll be pissed. They'll be mad as shit. Like, I write songs about like weed or something like that, and like a couple of the guys don't really smoke, or I'll write a song that's just like super controversial, and they'll just be like, dude, I don't know. And I'll be like, well, if anybody wants to fight about it at the show, I'll fucking fight it. You know what I'm saying? So,
nice.
That's kind of how it rolls. Yeah.
Awesome. What about tour plans before we go? You got any tour plans yet, or is it still too early?
We might go in fall. We're kind of waiting to hear back from a couple other bands. We'll be the support. But if not, we'll definitely be out in spring. Are you still there?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry. Yeah, I said we'll definitely be out in the spring of next year, 100%. We don't really tour in the winter because we're Florida boys. So, like, you really got to be like Slipknot or something for me to come out and
hit the snow.
out in the... Yeah, I don't like the snow, man. I hate it. Yeah.
I hope that wasn't too bad, man.
Nah, bro, you rule. I appreciate it. I really like the fucking picture behind you, bro. It's like mind blowing. I'm not even kidding you.
Well, it's good. It's right over Amazon. It was like $12. I bought a couple different ones. I change every once in a while, but they're just like photo backdrops or something. It looks real from where you are.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna find one, dude.
Does it? Yeah. It looks real from where you are.
Dude, I swear to God, it looks like you're like sitting in an alley and like you painted it. And then I'm just like, oh, look at my fan. You know what I mean? Look at my fan and my roof behind you. I'm just like, because I've done a couple of these interviews, and that's the one thing I thought about was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched like, you know, the UFC fighters and stuff like that. And like, I know that they're staging where they're, you know what I mean? How you have the background, like you staged it, like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'll do it on my back porch. Like, you know what I mean?
I literally have it stapled to the plywood wall behind me in the garage.
I love you. I almost said something about it in the interview. I wanted to be like, yo, man, and you painted the wall. Like, it looks legit, dude. Like, it's so legit. I swear.
That's great. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I dig Sheep. Thank you for continuing to make music, and hopefully we'll catch you on the road.
Yeah, for sure, man. Have a good day, bro.
Be well. Take care.
All right. Take it easy.